Imagine waking up tomorrow without your arm. No advanced surgery, no futuristic prosthetic, no miracle treatment. Then, just a few weeks later, you watch something incredible happen. A brand new arm begins to grow bone, muscles, nerves, skin, even fingerprints, until it's almost impossible to tell it was ever gone. It sounds like science fiction, but on Earth, it's reality. For some animals, losing a body part isn't the end of the story. It's just the beginning of another one. A tiny salamander called the axolotl can regrow an entire leg. Starfish can replace lost arms, and in some cases, a single arm can regenerate an entirely new body. Flatworms can rebuild themselves from tiny fragments. Even zebrafish can repair damage to their hearts that would permanently scar a human. Meanwhile, if a person loses a hand, it's gone forever. So here's the question. If evolution is all about survival, why did some animals keep this extraordinary ability while humans lost it? Was it a mistake, or did our bodies trade regeneration for something even more important? The answer reaches back hundreds of millions of years, long before humans existed. And surprisingly, the clues may still be hidden inside your own body. Meet the axolotl, one of nature's greatest medical mysteries. At first glance, it looks harmless, with its feathery gills and permanent smile. But beneath that cute appearance is one of the most powerful healing systems ever discovered. Lose one leg, it grows another. Damage its spinal cord, it repairs itself. Injure its heart, it heals without leaving scars. Scientists have even watched axolotls regenerate parts of their brains. What's truly astonishing isn't just that a new limb grows back, it's that the replacement is almost perfect. The bones, muscles, blood vessels, nerves, and joints reconnect in exactly the right places, as if the injury never happened. And the axolotl isn't alone. Across the natural world, regeneration appears again and again in different forms. Deer regrow their antlers every year, the fastest growing bone tissue of any mammal. Certain fish repair damaged organs. Countless species recover from injuries that would permanently change a human life. So why can't we? The surprising answer is that humans haven't completely lost the ability to regenerate. Right now, your body is constantly replacing old cells with new ones. Your skin renews itself, your blood is rebuilt, even your bones slowly replace their own tissue throughout your lifetime. But that's maintenance, not true regeneration. Replacing individual cells is very different from rebuilding an entire arm. Still, there are hints that the blueprint hasn't disappeared. The human liver, for example, can recover from losing a large portion of its tissue by growing back to nearly its original size. And, under very specific conditions, young children have occasionally regenerated the tips of injured fingers, including bone, skin, and even fingerprints. These rare examples suggest something remarkable. The instructions for regeneration may still exist inside us, so why don't they work when we lose something larger, like a hand or a leg? The answer lies in what happens during the first few moments after an injury. Imagine two emergency construction crews arriving at a collapsed bridge. The first carefully studies the original design, removes the damaged pieces, and rebuilds the bridge exactly as it was. That's what an axolotl does. The second crew has a different mission: seal the damage, restore basic function, keep everything from falling apart. That's what the human body does. Within minutes of a serious injury, blood begins to clot. The immune system rushes in. Inflammation fights infection. Then your body seals the wound with scar tissue. It's fast. It's efficient. And most importantly, it keeps you alive. But that rapid response comes with a hidden cost. The same system that helps humans survive severe injuries may also be the reason we can never regrow an arm. So if regeneration is such a powerful survival tool, why would evolution ever choose scars instead? The evolutionary trade-off at first, it seems like one of evolution's biggest mistakes. Imagine if humans could regrow a lost hand, repair a damaged spinal cord, or grow a new leg after a devastating accident. Millions of lives would be transformed. So why didn't evolution take us down that path? Because evolution doesn't reward perfection. It rewards survival. And sometimes, surviving today is far more important than recovering months from now. To understand why, we have to travel back more than 300 million years. The earliest animals lived in dangerous environments filled with predators. Many survived attacks by sacrificing part of their bodies. A lizard could escape by dropping its tail. A crab could lose a claw and eventually grow another. A salamander could survive without a leg long enough to replace it. These animals had one thing on their side time. They could hide, stay still, and slowly rebuild what they had lost. But mammals took a very different evolutionary path. As mammals evolved, they became faster, warmer, and far more active. Their bodies burned enormous amounts of energy just to stay alive. Waiting months to regrow a limb wasn't practical. Instead, natural selection favored something much more immediate. Fast healing. Think about a deep cut. One person heals slowly but perfectly. The other heals quickly, leaving a scar. In the wild, the second person has the better chance of surviving. An open wound isn't just painful, it's dangerous. It means blood loss. It means infection. It means bacteria and parasites have a direct path into the body. Long before modern medicine, even a small infection could become deadly. So over millions of years, mammals evolved an emergency response system designed to seal injuries as quickly as possible. The result is scar tissue. Scar tissue is incredibly effective. It closes wounds, restores strength, and prevents infection. But it's a shortcut. It patches the damage instead of rebuilding what was there before. Hair follicles don't return. Sweat glands disappear. Complex tissues are replaced with strong fibers rather than perfect replicas. The goal isn't to restore the body exactly as it was. The goal is to stay alive. That's the trade-off our ancestors made. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. When scientists studied salamanders, they discovered that these animals don't rush to form scars. Instead, something extraordinary happens. The cells surrounding the injury begin to change. Muscle cells stop behaving like muscle. Skin cells temporarily forget their skin. They return to a flexible, almost youthful state, capable of becoming many different types of tissue. These cells gather into a small structure known as a blastema. Think of it as nature's construction site. Instead of patching the damage, the blastema contains the biological instructions to rebuild everything from the ground up. Bones grow into the correct shape. Muscles reconnect. Blood vessels weave through the new tissue. Nerves find their original pathways. Weeks later, a fully functional limb has returned. Humans never reach this stage. Almost immediately after a major injury, our immune system sends a different message. Stop the bleeding. Prevent infection. Close the wound. Build a scar. By the time regeneration could begin, the opportunity is already gone. This has led scientists to an intriguing possibility. Maybe humans didn't completely lose the ability to regenerate. Maybe evolution simply changed the order of priorities. Instead of rebuilding first, our bodies learned to protect us first. That tiny evolutionary decision may explain one of the biggest differences between humans and animals like the axolotl. And it raises an even bigger question. If the genetic instructions for regeneration are still hidden somewhere inside us, could modern science learn how to switch them back on? Can humans ever regrow limbs? For centuries, the idea of regrowing a human arm or leg belonged in science fiction. Today, it's one of the most exciting questions in modern medicine. Researchers around the world are asking something that once seemed impossible. What if evolution never erased our ability to regenerate? What if it simply turned it off? To find out, scientists have returned to one unlikely creature, the axolotl. Every time this small salamander loses a limb, it performs a biological miracle. Instead of forming scar tissue, the cells around the injury begin to transform. Muscle cells, skin cells, and connective tissue temporarily return to a flexible, youthful state. Together, they form a structure called the blastema, a living blueprint capable of rebuilding an entire limb. For years, scientists assumed humans lacked this ability. But then came a surprising discovery. Humans share many of the same genes involved in regeneration. In other words, the instructions may still exist. The challenge isn't creating new biology. It's understanding why our bodies don't use those instructions the same way. Think of your DNA as a giant library. Every cell contains thousands of instruction manuals, but not every manual is open. Some are active throughout your life. Others are only used during early development. And some appear to have been closed by evolution millions of years ago. Scientists are now trying to discover whether some of those pages can be reopened. They're studying growth factors, natural chemical signals that tell cells when to grow and repair tissue. They're exploring stem cells, which can develop into many different types of specialized cells. And with powerful tools like gene editing, researchers are beginning to understand the genetic switches that separate regeneration from scar formation. At the same time, advances in 3D bioprinting are allowing scientists to create living tissues in the laboratory. Simple skin, cartilage, and miniature organs have already been produced for research. These technologies won't allow someone to regrow an arm tomorrow, but each breakthrough brings medicine one step closer to repairing injuries that were once considered permanent. Perhaps the most encouraging discovery is this: the human body may be more capable than we ever imagined. Some experimental treatments have helped damaged nerves reconnect more effectively. Others have improved tissue repair in ways that once seemed impossible. These are only early steps, but they suggest that our bodies still hold untapped potential. Imagine a future where someone who loses a limb in an accident doesn't need a prosthetic, but grows a new one. Where spinal cord injuries are no longer permanent. Where damaged organs repair themselves instead of failing. Today, those ideas still sound extraordinary, but so did heart transplants, artificial organs, and editing human DNA. History has shown that today's impossible can become tomorrow's standard medical treatment. Whether human limb regeneration becomes reality is still unknown. But one thing is certain: the greatest breakthroughs in science often begin with a simple question. And in this case, that question came from watching a tiny salamander do something humans have dreamed about for centuries. Maybe the future of medicine isn't about building better replacements. Maybe it's about teaching the human body to finish a job it once knew how to do. And if that day ever comes, it won't just change how we heal, it will change what it means to be human.